Hi, this is Kim Hallen with Unbridled, and welcome to episode 7 of the herd integration of Relicario. So this is the third morning, and this morning I have Puck and Tempo, that paddock's open, and Shoki is over here in the pasture they've been together, or in a space where they can all get to each other all morning. And I have Marcus and Rayleigh separated in the front pasture because yesterday when I put everyone together yesterday afternoon, it was nice for a while, and then it got pretty hairy. Rayleigh is way down here, down there. Tempo really does not want, let me get this gate, Puck to be near Rayleigh, and so that has been creating some pretty interesting dynamics. I'm actually going to open the divider between these guys. Ooh, sorry about all that. Here you go, Marcus. You want to go in there with them? And Rayleigh's going to come too, I think, because he wants to stay with Marcus. But I want to see how things go when I put everyone together this morning for a little while to see if it's calmer than it was yesterday. I think for a while, it's going to take a while before Tempo is okay with Rayleigh being, she doesn't mind if he's around either of the boys, but she really doesn't like him to be around Puck, which was very surprising to me, but it's been really interesting. Hey, Rayleigh, you going to come in too? You want to join the herd? Are you looking for where those girls are? I know. They're back here. It's okay, though. Hi. What a sweet boy. Hi. So we'll see what happens when Tempo and say he wants to be with Marcus. Marcus is right here. He sees the girls over there. He can't tell whether they're going to come out or not, but he's going to go join his buddy. And you can't really see from here, but Puck is immediately showing signs of being in season when she sees him. But they seem to have communicated, she and Tempo, that Puck is not to leave and go see Rayleigh, and that she's supposed to stay with Tempo. Fascinating dynamic, and Puck, for the most part, is trying hard to do that. Hi, are you coming back over to say hello? Or are you leaving? Hi. Are you leaving? Yeah, the girls were there. He's like, I think I'm gonna go back out here. So that's really smart. He's came and he checked out the scenario, and he said, I'm not really comfortable being that close to the girls. I know that they haven't wanted me around so much. So I'm going to create space. He put kind of a fence. Now obviously there's a gate here, but he put a bit of a boundary between him and everyone else, but he can still see everyone and be here. And the girls did not get excited. So I think that's a win. And it might, the dynamics might change here in a little while, but I like how they all worked that out and all seem to be respectful of everyone else's needs. Herds are wonderful like that. They do not go out of their way to cause trouble. They actually do everything that they can to keep a peaceful scenario. There's a lot we humans can learn from them about that. So I didn't narrate this clip live because it was really windy, but this is what happened when Puck tried to go see Rayleigh. So the whole herd ended up working together, and you can see Puck is trying to reach Rayleigh, and Tempo is herding her around and sort of keeping her away from Rayleigh. And Shoki's just trying to help the situation there, trying to figure out what's going on. Here, Tempo actually got Puck to come back into the center, and you can see she and Shoki are watching Rayleigh, and Marcus is way over in the other corner, just kind of staying out of it. Bless his heart. Marcus isn't doing anything here to cause troubled dynamics, but he's also just not doing much to help. Rayleigh is now isolated and would really like to be with Marcus, but he knows he can't. If he does that, he's probably going to set off the dynamics again. And Marcus could really help Rayleigh out if he would just go over and be with Rayleigh. But Marcus, when the dynamics get kind of hairy, he just sort of shuts down and he just kind of says, I'm over here minding my own business. Here you can see Puck is interested in going back over. Rayleigh's like, I'm going to get out of here and go to my friend Marcus. And then that gets everybody worked up again. Tempo's like, don't go over there. Rayleigh leaves and makes a lot more space between himself and the herd. So again, Marcus could really help. And here the herd actually tried to tell Marcus, why don't you go over there and hang out with Rayleigh? And Marcus sort of went, but he doesn't know what to do unless they tell him. And he really didn't go far enough. So now you have Rayleigh, and he's just kind of standing off on his own, trying to figure out what to do. And he looks back at the herd, and he would like to, letting them know he'd like to join them again, but he's uncertain about doing it. And he turns toward the herd again to say, should I come in? And you can see Shoki still has his head up. The others are grazing, but Shoki is kind of staying on guard. And in doing that, he's letting Rayleigh know that if Rayleigh comes back in, Shoki's ready to tell him, no, back off again. And so you're going to kind of have a little man-to-man conversation here that goes on over a distance where those two just stay looking at each other. And Shoki's trying to tell him, here, go ahead and relax. You might as well stay out there. And here Rayleigh does relax and start grazing. And with that, Shoki starts to come off guard as well. And again, Marcus could have helped this out, but they came to a peaceful solution anyway. And here at the end, you'll see that Shoki starts to calm down and go back to grazing too. This is the 5th morning of the herd integration, and all the horses are actually loose together, but we have right now Marcus and Rayleigh in the front pasture, and the rest of the horses, Shoki, Tempo, and Puck, are all the way in the back there. And things have been peaceful whenever it's like this, whenever Marcus and Rayleigh are together and there's a good distance between them and Puck and Tempo and Shoki, but things get pretty hairy. Hello, Bart. Whenever it's usually that Puck wants to go and see Rayleigh, and then that really sets Tempo off, and Shoki sort of lets that go on for a little while, and then he gets frustrated with the dynamics and he chases Rayleigh away. Meanwhile, Marcus, bless his heart, he just doesn't really know how to help in this situation, and so sometimes he also comes to join. Of course, he wants to hang out with his rest of his herd. And when he comes and does that, then Rayleigh wants to come with him, and then the dynamics start. And Marcus just doesn't really seem to understand his role in, what he could do to help keep the peace. So sometimes he's just standing in the middle of the field while everyone else is running around. In fact, actually here he's sort of coming this way right now. And he doesn't really understand that he could help comfort Rayleigh, or just by changing his position. Rayleigh's staying way down there. He got chased around again a good bit this morning. But so Marcus is just kind of, I don't know that he's oblivious to some of the dynamics, but he just it may be more that he just shuts down because he doesn't really know confidently what to do. So he just says, I'm just going to stay calm in the middle because it's obviously not really about me. But he also doesn't really look for how he can help, which in most horse herds, and especially in the wild, but even in domestic herds, they all try to work together to find the peace. And so what's happening, been interesting to watch it unfold, is Puck and Shoki and Tempo and even Rayleigh are all trying really hard to find the balance well, Tempo's not trying so hard, actually. She just wants to keep Puck away from Rayleigh. That's that dysfunctional mother-daughter relationship that would not exist in the wild. So in the wild, there wouldn't be one mare being as protective of the others, I don't think, as Tempo is of Puck. But Marcus just kind of does whatever it is he feels like doing. And he's sort of oblivious to the fact that his choices are sometimes making things challenging. And when things get challenging, he just doesn't really try anything to help balance things back out. He just sort of lets everybody else work it out. And then he's like, I'm just here. So he's not actively causing trouble, but he's passively causing some challenges. And again, this just goes back to the fact that he's not experienced in living in herds and herd dynamics. And so he's not a whole lot of help. And interestingly, this is part of why I wanted to go ahead and introduce a new horse to my herd now. Shoki is 30 years old. And I know he's not going to be with us for, a long time. I don't know how long. Hopefully a while yet, but really don't know with a horse that age, when that time will come. And because of the dysfunctional relationship with the girls and Marcus's inability to really know how to handle situations, I think that when Shoki passes, it's going to be quite, they're behind the trailer, the rest of them. But I think it's going to be quite disruptive and a little bit traumatic to my herd, my girls. Hey, Bart. And so I wanted to go ahead and introduce another horse who is more herd savvy to my herd before that happens. And, that will hopefully make the transition a little smoother. Who knows? But it is one thing I'm doing to try to be an advocate and look out for my herd. And there's some things that they have no control over, and I don't have necessarily control over it either, but I do have more control than they do about how I respond to it and how I can help support them through that when the time comes. As I said, Shoki's been here with me on this farm for almost 20 years, and Puck's been here 15 or 16 years, and Tempo has been here for 12. So the three of them have been together. And Tempo's never lived without Shoki in her herd, and Puck was 3 when she came and has never lived without Shoki in her herd since then. So it's going to be a tough transition when it happens, and I'm just trying to think about how to make that a little easier for all of them. But as we see this morning, as long as they're staying fairly separated, everything's very calm. So this little clip is just one more example of how Shoki and Tempo are working together to keep Rayleigh and Puck apart. And here they're actually trying to work with the fact, just work with where Marcus is. Again, Marcus is just standing there grazing. He's not actively trying to help, but Rayleigh is trying to stay with Marcus. And so Tempo and Shoki work on keeping Puck away from where Marcus and Rayleigh are. So again, we're back to that dynamic, and they're back to calm.